Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Foster City AYSO Spring Parents Meeting. We will be going over the details of the spring program for spring of 2024. And this is more of an interactive session, even though I have muted a few folks, it was mostly because of the background noise. At any point of time, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask the question. You don't have to wait till the end of the presentation to ask your questions. So feel free to ask your questions at any point of time. And if I feel that this question is going to be addressed later on, I will say that and move on. Additionally, you can also ask questions on the chat. Beth, who is our registrar, whom you all must be very familiar with, will be monitoring the chat. Beth, I'm assuming you can do that. And if there are any questions, Beth will either interrupt me. Well, either she will try to answer the question on the chat, or she can, Beth, feel free to interrupt me and let me know that there's a question on the chat window. Okay, sounds good. Let's get started. A lot of this material might be repetitive for folks who have attended AYSO before, or if their kids have attended AYSO. I'm going to mostly focus on the newcomers, and there are quite a few newcomers. And so everyone just be patient if you find the material kind of repetitive. Okay, with that, I'll get started. Sorry. Okay. So just a background about AYSO. It was started in 1964 in the Los Angeles area, and Foster City AYSO was incorporated in 1974. It's going to be 50 years this year. And we have, AYSO has 6 philosophies, and a lot of it applies to fall, where we have competitive teams. But I'll just go over these philosophies at a very high level. Everyone plays. We do not discriminate based on anything. So everyone gets the opportunity, as in all kids get the opportunity to play. Balanced teams. And once again, everyone plays. It will be very obvious in fall when we have competitive teams. And what that means is not just the best players get to play. Everyone gets to play, and balanced teams. And so when we form teams in fall, we make sure that no one team has the best players. And so we make sure that the best players are all balanced between the different teams, or distributed between the different teams. The registration is open. Anyone can register. It's not just open to Foster City. Folks from other regions can also register, although we do charge a non-resident fee. And then the other 3 philosophies are positive coaching, good sportsmanship, and player development. And so they are all pretty obvious. Coaches are expected to be positive and not just focus on winning. The same with sportsmanship. Even after you win, you display good sportsmanship and respect the other team. And player development, coaches don't just focus on the best players, they focus on everyone. Okay. So that's just at those AYSO philosophies at a very high level. And moving on to the next slide. So Foster City AYSO, and AYSO specifically is completely volunteer driven. Foster City AYSO is very similar. We are completely volunteer driven. And this program would not be possible without our volunteers, board volunteers. So first of all, I would like to thank them. And if you ever meet any of them, please thank them. Lots of hours go into putting a program like this. And everything is purely done by people volunteering their extra time. None of us get paid in any way for doing this. So again, I'll reiterate a big thanks to the board that make it possible. If you have time and if you are interested, please join our board. That will be a common theme that you will see me talking about throughout this evening. There are lots of small jobs, and the board is quite understaffed. Volunteerism has gone volunteerism has gone down since the pandemic for whatever reason. And we are all stretched for our time. And somehow we managed to put together a quality program. And so even if you have a little bit of time to spare, please join our board and you'll see me bringing this topic quite often. So moving on. So this is the important dates of our 2024 spring season. It will start on March 18th, and it will actually end on June 8th. There is a typo over here. So let me just fix that quickly, if you guys don't mind, in case anyone is taking a screenshot, and I'll go over the slide again. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. So our spring season starts Monday, March 18th, and ends on Saturday, June 8th. It will be completely led by UK International Soccer. They have been our partner for many years, and there will be 4 UKIS coaches who will be traveling from UK to coach your children. There will be 12 Saturday sessions and optional weekday practices. Okay. I will get into the details of these Saturday sessions as well as the weekday practices in the upcoming slides. So these are the important dates. Saturday sessions start on March 23rd and end on June 8th. There will be a Saturday session even during the Memorial Day weekend, as well as the spring break weekends. There will be no exceptions or no breaks of the Saturday sessions. So just to reiterate, Saturday sessions will start on March 23rd and end on June 8th. There will be optional weekday practices. Weekday practices start on March 8th and end on Friday, June 7th. There will be no Monday sessions on May 27th, which is the Memorial Day weekend holiday. And just to reiterate, there will be still a Saturday session on May 25th, which is the Saturday of the Memorial Day weekend. So moving on to the next slide. And I'll get into what happens in each of the Saturday and weekday sessions in a few slides. But just to first highlight where will all this be happening. Most of the repeat folks who have registered in the past know all this, but this is mostly for the newcomers. Saturday and weekday sessions will happen on Sea Cloud Park on fields S3 and S2 and S1 also. And I'll get into the details of where all these fields are. Sea Cloud Park is pretty obvious. If you just search on Google Maps where Sea Cloud Park is, and you should be able to figure it out. So these are all the fields at Sea Cloud Park. As a city and as a community, we are very lucky to have this park. All the fields are turfed, and we will be playing on turf fields, and they are all very well maintained by Foster City's Parks and Recreation Department. So big thanks to Foster City and its Parks and Recreation Department for allowing us to use these facilities. So most important thing to keep in mind are S3, S2, and S1. That is what we'll be focusing on during spring. If you ever want to find a map of the Sea Cloud Park, all you need to do is go to fcayso.org, which is our website, www.fostercityfcayso.org. And over there, just click on map of Sea Cloud Park, and you will be able to find this image. Okay, so there is no need to take photos or screenshots of this slide. So just go to fcayso.org and click on map of Sea Cloud Park. Saturday sessions will be on S3 and S2. Okay, And here, east and west, we are calling it out because in the future slides, you will see which field you are assigned to, okay? S3 is broken into east, center, and west, and S2 and S1 are broken into east and west, okay? Moving on. Weekday practices at S1, ignore the arrow to S2, but weekday practices will be mostly focused on S1. Parking. So parking is a little bit tight in Sea Cloud Park. Keep in mind, especially on the weekdays and Saturdays, that we share the field with youth baseball. And so it's not just soccer that's happening. Baseball is also happening at the same time on these fields. So I would suggest that you always come early and park on the street on both Pitcairn Drive as well as Sea Cloud Drive. There should be enough parking on these streets as long as you come as long as you give yourself some time. Do not come at the last minute, just before your session is about to start, then you'll be struggling for parking. Moving on. Division info. So this is just some background in case you are confused as to how we assign the kids to different divisions. So this is the division information for spring 2024. So if your birth year is 2020, you will be in 4U, also called playground. If your birth year is 2019, if your kid's birth year is 2019, you will be assigned to 5U, which is also referred to as schoolyard. Birth year of 2018 gets mapped to 6U, and birth year of 2016, 2017 gets mapped to 8U, 2014, 2015 to 10U, 2012 and 2013 to 12U. Okay. So if you feel that, for example, if your child is too young for 8U, this is the rationale for how your child ended up in 8U or 10U. That's because 2 years get mapped to 10U. And this is the AYSO policy, and they have been doing this for a long time. My son, who is aged out of AYSO right now, he's going to be 15, has gone through all this. And I would suggest that parents do not be worried if your child is too young for your division. It's a good motivation for them and to do better. And it's also a good experience for them to play with older kids. All the times that my son has played with older kids, he has just come out better. So do not be worried and stressed about the fact that your child is in a younger division. Okay. Cool. Looks like there are some stuff on the chat. Let me see if I can answer any questions. No? Okay. For optional weekday.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah,
Carter.
thank you, Beth. Yeah. Okay, so Beth will type the answer. Okay, moving on. So to the next slide. So these are the assignments of the different divisions for Saturday sessions. You can either take a screenshot of this slide, or I'll provide a link where you can find this information. Okay, and all of this information will be available on our website too, right? So I'm not going to go over every slot. And so all you need to do is figure out if your child is in 4U, 5U, 6U, 8U, 10U, or 12U. And there was a sign-up sheet where you would have been assigned to a specific, where you had the choice to basically pick your slot. And if you didn't use that sign-up sheet, then I would suggest that then what we did was you would have been assigned to a slot. Okay. Are people seeing lines being drawn on the slide? I think some.
Yes, something
Yeah.
very unusual.
Yeah, I think one of the users somehow seems to be drawing these lines. Yeah, I would suggest if parents have their have given their phones to their kids or something, please refrain from doing that. I cannot I don't know how I can remove these lines right now, and I'm not going to spend time figuring that out. But if you have given your phones to your kids, please refrain from doing that. These lines are very distracting. Let me see if I can find a way to get rid of them.
Try to stop the screen share and redo it again. Probably disappear.
That's a good suggestion. I'm going to go and do that. Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you for that suggestion. That seems to have got rid of those lines. So bottom line is you should have been assigned a slot for Saturday sessions. If you haven't, if you didn't sign up for one, by default, you would have been assigned a slot, and we will share information as to who is assigned to which slot later on. Just keep an eye out for an email. Moving on from Saturday sessions to weekday sessions. Weekday sessions are optional. And so this is the weekday session schedule. As you can see, there are no weekday sessions on Fridays. So focus on the one that is highlighted where there is a red highlight around the weekday sessions. I'll get to what's below it in the next slide. So weekday sessions are Monday to Thursday from 4 to 5:30 and 5:30 to 7. And on Mondays, it's 8U and 8U boys and 8U girls and 12U. 12U, when you see there is no boys or girls, which means it's co-ed. On Tuesdays, it's 6U, which means it's co-ed. 10U boys, 8U boys, and 10U girls. On Wednesday, it's 6U co-ed, 8U girls, 8U boys, and 12U co-ed. And on Thursday, it's 6U co-ed, 8U boys, and 10U boys. There's nothing on Friday. Okay. Additionally, and this is where the next slide comes in, the UK coaches will be providing skills development and goalkeeping, basically goalkeeping sessions for highly motivated kids. So if you have one of your, if your kids are interested in building a lot more skills, or for example, they like goalkeeping, then they can take advantage of this additional sessions again from Monday to Thursday, and they overlap at the same time. So obviously, if you have a kid in 8UB who has a weekday session on Monday, they cannot participate in the goalkeeping or the skills development on Monday, but they can participate in the goalkeeping or the skills development on some other day. And these are not assigned, as in they are drop-in, right? Whereas the weekday sessions, if I go back to the previous slide, you have been again assigned a specific slot, right? If your child is in 8UB, doesn't mean that you can show up on Monday or Thursday. Again, there was a sign-up sheet, and you should have been assigned a slot through those sign-up sheet. Whereas for goalkeeping and skills development, there was no sign-up. This is completely optional, and it's drop-in. And obviously, there is a limit, and once it hits that limit, UK coaches might turn you back, right? But once again, this is this is not meant for everyone. A lot of kids might not be interested in goalkeeping, or a lot of kids might not be interested in additional skills development. But this is for the motivated kids who still want that extra practice or extra skills. Okay. Cool. I'm going to take a pause and see if there are questions, and that will also give me an idea what's going on in the chat. Okay, cool. I think most of these questions are being handled by Beth, and I can also handle them towards the end of the meeting if they have not been resolved. Moving on. Session format and rules. So all sessions, so spring is different from fall. Kids belong to a cohort. They do not belong to teams. So there will be a bunch of 8U boys or a 12U cohort that constitute a cohort, right? The cohort will consist only of kids of the same division. So we won't be mixing the cohorts of different divisions. Except some cohorts will be co-ed, like 12U and 6U, okay? And so the UK coaches will be doing drills, which means basic skill development. And after, they will be basically dividing the sessions into skills development and scrimmages. So scrimmages are like a game, but very informal. The UK coaches will be acting as referees, and they will be basically monitoring the game, monitoring the scrimmages. In the past, we have got a lot of questions as to whether parents can switch cohorts. It's inconvenient for everyone. And so our default answer is no, you cannot switch cohorts. I think I already covered this. All this is being done by 4 UK international soccer coaches. AYSO will be providing uniforms which constitute of a jersey and socks, and I'll get into the details of how you can get those. For the weekday sessions, for the goalkeeping and the skills development, as well as the Saturday session, wear your uniform and shin guards and bring water, lots of water. Spring gets quite warm, especially during the months of April and May. And use sunblock, bring lots of water. Foster City Parks and Recs has a rule where no food or colored drinks are allowed on the turf. So please respect that. Once you leave the turf, once your kid is with you outside the field or in the car, you can have snacks. The other thing that we strictly enforce is no jewelry is allowed. There are multiple reasons. Kids get hurt. And that's why we say no jewelry. No necklaces, no earrings, no bracelets. There are no exceptions to this, except if it's a medical ID. The coaches will enforce it. I have seen kids getting very distressed about the fact that they have to take their jewelry off. But if you are not willing to take your jewelry off, you will not be allowed to play. There are no exceptions. Okay. And this becomes, everyone should just get used to this, because in fall, as we get more and more competitive, and fall, as we get more and more competitive, this is just a good habit to follow. Okay, like I mentioned about uniforms, AYSO supplies jersey and soccer socks. Parents supply shin guards and shoes. Spring, you can either play with sneakers, but I would highly recommend that kids play with soccer cleats. Fall, we enforce soccer cleats, and it's just a good habit to get used to before fall comes in August. And so I would suggest that all parents have all the parents go and buy soccer cleats and shin guards. Okay. The shin guards are required. The coaches will not allow the child to play if there are no shin guards. Again, there are no exceptions. They should be worn under the socks. This is all pretty straightforward stuff. So moving on. Just to make sure, since kids sometimes play both the sports, baseball as well as soccer, we insist on having soccer cleats. If you're going to buy cleats, make sure that they are soccer cleats. Baseball cleats have a toe cleat, and the soccer cleats don't have a toe cleat. And if you have a baseball cleat, you will not be allowed to play. So just make sure that you have a soccer cleat. Moving on. Uniform pickup. We will be sending an email. Usually we do this parents meeting in person, where you could have come and picked up your uniforms. but due to some delays on the vendor side, we just got the uniforms today. And even then, we don't have all the uniforms for all the divisions. So we will be handing out uniforms starting Monday onwards during the weekday sessions, as well as on Saturday sessions. And you will find an email in your inbox with more details. The uniform handout, you can pick up your uniforms at the referee tent. The referee tent is over here between S3, S2, and S4. It's pretty obvious. There is a children's play structure next to the referee tent. And one of the board members or myself will be there on weekdays or Saturdays to hand out the uniforms. Okay. Moving on. Yeah, this is an old slide. I should have changed the title. But in general, we are not too worried about COVID. But if you are sick or in immediate contact with someone sick in your household, just refrain from coming to the weekday or the Saturday sessions. There's a lot of stuff going on, respiratory illnesses, and we have young children and all that. So just take the right precautions. Okay. Then everyone else is also not getting sick. These are some of the UK coaches. They will change after some of the UK coaches will change after the first few sessions because there are some visa issues with the UK coaches. There are some delays. They are especially Kyle and Ryan. Some of you might have been familiar with, especially folks who were enrolled in last spring. They are amazing coaches, and we are very lucky to have them back. And so far, we have had only good experiences with UK international soccer. And one of the things that all these UK coaches look forward to is intermingling with the kids, not only with the kids, but also with the parents. And one of the things that we try to provide them is housing. So what we try to provide them with is housing, because these UK coaches, there is no housing in their budget. And so, for example, if they have to end up in an Airbnb or a hotel, it tends to be very expensive. And so we strongly encourage the parents to host these coaches if possible. And there are multiple perks of hosting a coach. So especially we are looking for parents with an additional room to basically host the coach for anywhere from 2 weeks to 1 month. And for each 1 month of housing, your child is basically eligible for a free UKIS summer camp. And also, most parents who have hosted coaches will attest to this, that the children get amazing coaching sessions, informal coaching sessions, and they become great soccer players. Additionally, for each 1 month of housing, you get a voucher from AYSO for a free AYSO registration that is valid up to 1 year, which means if you host a coach during spring, this spring for 1 month, you are eligible for either a free fall registration or a free spring registration of 2025. Okay. So these are all the perks. I'll be sending an email about this with a lot of details. So look forward to that email. This is a great experience, and a lot of board members as well as parents have hosted coaches. And one thing is you also get free babysitting, unofficial babysitting. So I would encourage everyone to host coaches. Moving on. UKIS summer camps. And so UKIS also runs spring and summer camps. And these will happen during spring breaks as well as during the summer break. And so we will be sending out emails to everyone about with more details about the spring and summer camps. Okay. Finally, moving on from spring, for those of you who are interested in fall. So fall 2024 registration will open in May. We are looking for volunteer coaches and referees, and we will also be setting up a table in the Foster City farmers market starting from April onwards, hopefully when it stops raining. And you can stop by that table, and we can share more information and answer any questions that you might have. We'll be there every Saturday in April and May. And you can also check our website and our Facebook page for more details. In April, we'll be announcing as to when the registration will start, and we'll keep both the website and the Facebook page updated throughout spring with more details about fall. Okay, we are almost at the end. Like I said, we need volunteers. A lot of this, I think I emphasized at the beginning of the meeting, does not get put together magically. There's a lot of work that goes on in the background, and we are looking for two key positions. We are looking for someone to help our registration process. All of you must have exchanged emails with Beth. She is our sole registrar, and she can use a lot of help. We are also looking for a CVPA. If anyone is in, for example, has a job in human resources or in, let's say, in security, or if you or your family member are in the Foster City or any other police organization, this will be a great role. Usually there are not that many incidents, but it's whenever there's an incident, we would like a child and volunteer protection advocate. And we are also looking for 6U boys and girls division managers. At that age, it's mostly handled by professional coaches, and a lot of help is also provided via the parents. But those are the formative divisions. Those are the formative years, and those are the formative divisions that lay the foundation for a good program in later years. And we would like some division managers to help us over there. Okay. We provide, and especially for coaches and referees and division managers, if you feel that you don't have any past experience, you don't need any past experience. We have a very strong training program. We will make sure that you are trained properly for the job. And so don't hesitate to contact us because you think you don't have the right background. We are all looking, we all started with probably zero background in soccer, and we have taken on different roles. And that's because we love doing what we do for this community as well as for your kids. And so hopefully you will also be kind enough to step up. With that, like I said, if you need more information, we are going to keep this link updated. So if you go to our website, fcayso.org, and click on our programs and click on spring program, spring soccer, you will find all the details. This link might not be updated right now, but by end of this week, we will make sure that this link is updated and you will have all the information over there. Okay. Moving on. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I can be reached at rc@aysofc.org. And you all, I'm sure, must have already been familiar with Beth, who is our registrar. And as I mentioned, you can find a lot of this information on our website also. Okay. Any questions? We can move away from the chat. And if people want to ask questions directly, you can unmute yourself and feel free to ask me any questions. And I don't mind going back to any slide that you want me to refer to or repeating myself. Feel free to ask any questions.
One quick question. This is our first season for the spring season. We've done fall a few times before, but not the spring. what is the difference between the weekday optional sessions that are assigned by grade and age versus the optional goalkeeping and skill sessions after?
Okay, Beth, you want to take that?
Sure. I mean, what you're going to be able to get in the weekday sessions is very similar to what you'll be getting on Saturdays, in terms of drills and specific skills that they might be asked to do. And then the drop-in skills clinic can be anywhere from repeating that stuff to more advanced. It'll probably be a lot fewer kids. And so, you know, they can get a little bit more personalized training. The goalkeeping sessions are just that. It's to learn how to be a goalkeeper. And I do want to mention that in 8U, we don't use goalies, but in 10U, we do. So anybody who's in 8U and moving up to 10U next year in the fall, you might consider doing some goal clinic or goalkeeping training to prepare for that. That's it.
Yeah, just to add on top of what Beth said, it's purely based on interest. If you have a child that is motivated and want to build more skills, that's what the drop-in clinics are for. Okay. Any other questions? Beth, are there any questions in the chat that we have not addressed?
I think I got them all. If
Okay.
somebody didn't have their question answered, please post it again.
Or feel free to ask it.
Or yeah, just ask it.
Yeah.
Is this recording going to be sent out for those who join late?
Yes. So it will be sent out by end of day, by tonight. So we'll have the recording and we'll upload it to our YouTube channel, and I'll send a link to the YouTube channel. And I will also send a link to the slides so that people can look at the slides. Yeah, so it will be available, and an email blast will be sent out to everyone tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Just double checking. So the optional weekday practice starts first, and then, you know, it would be the Saturday one, right?
Yes. So
Okay.
going back to our schedule. Yes. So as you can see, weekday practices start this Monday, and the Saturday sessions start on the next Saturday, not this Saturday.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. I am guessing there are no more questions. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, or just view the recording, look at the slides. We are here to help, and looking forward to a great spring session. Thank you everyone for attending.
Before you go, actually, I want to just say,
Yeah, go ahead, Beth.
when you come to pick up uniforms during the weekday clinics at the referee tent, it might be a good idea to try to do it at the end of the first session, the beginning of the second session. So plan, you know, that change time is about 5:30. So that way we can make sure that we're, you know, definitely there at that time.
Yeah, Beth, thank you for bringing that up, and I'll make sure that I include that information in that in the email I sent out. Okay. Cool. Thank you, folks. Thank you once again. Bye.
Hi, so every Tuesday we have skill session. The skill session, I mean, every Tuesday.
Sorry, the skills session is on multiple days.
Every Tuesday and Thursday. So
No. So give me,
In-
let
Only
me
the
take-
first week or every week?
let me take you to the slides. This is every week, as you can see.
Every
Skills is on Tuesday and Thursday of every week, and the goalkeeping is on Monday and Wednesday every week.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's go back.
Me?
Ah, so you can keep.
No, it's okay.